Wow. We have a lot to talk about. It's been a while since we've seen you guys. It's been a couple weeks where everybody's a little bit preoccupied, but the Mammoth certainly have not. And I don't know about you, Corey, but I'm kind of not feeling the warm and fuzzies that I wish I would at this time of year. But first and foremost, I wanted to ask you about how your holidays went.
Yeah, pretty low key, nice and chill. From the hockey side, you wish Canada would have done a little better at the World Juniors. I know we
Yeah.
got a bronze, but throw that in the pile. We don't really care about bronze, so it's gold or bust, and it's going to be the same for the Olympics too, right? So
Yeah, it kind of seemed like for lack of a better term, shit show for Canada. It kind of like when you used to watch the World Juniors, it would be like Canada, Sweden, and USA, and typically in that order. And it just seems like there's a lot of parity in junior hockey nowadays. But it was nice to see Tej and Cole and all of our big prospects put up a lot of points. It's just a glimpse into the future, but still, it's these guys are playing against other 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, and all that. So don't read a lot of stock into it. I remember, I don't know if you remember this, Corey, but I think it was back in like 2010. Jacob Markstrom was supposed to be the guy, like the next goalie. And I'm not saying he hasn't been. Of course, he just secured a huge contract in New Jersey. But it just reminds me how much like I was in love with that prospect. I was. And it just reminds me, no matter how good of numbers they put up in this tournament, like you have to temper your expectations a little bit. So it was fun. Don't get me wrong. I love watching these guys because we can't watch them, right? Like this, unless you have Trent's secret package, ultra secret package, you can't watch any of these guys. But it was really, really fun to watch that. I got to ask you a quick question just because of the jersey I'm wearing. Do you follow a football team at all in the NFL?
I don't even know what jersey that is. I assume it's the Cardinals because the Arizona flag on the side. So, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't have a football team?
No.
Okay. So speaking of parody, I don't know if any of you that are watching out there right now are football fans, but man, and I don't imagine there would be a lot just because Utah doesn't have a team, but this year is going to be an exciting year in the playoffs just because there is so much parity. Anybody that has a ticket to the dance could realistically win the championship. And so, and that's kind of the way hockey's been for a long time, like when you saw St. Louis win a Stanley Cup. That's what I love about hockey so much and not so much baseball, even though I am a Dodgers fan. Sorry, Corey. Baseball, you tend to have a financial advantage over other teams. In hockey and football, you don't. So I was just curious, just because I was wearing the jersey. But let's just hop into it, man. So right now, I think we talked about it a couple podcasts ago. At the end of December, we were going to talk about how we felt about the coaching staff, right? Right now, if you had to give your blunt and honest take about the current state of the Mammoth, what would it be?
I would just let it ride right now. They're still right in the thick of things. I haven't really liked how they're playing. They've gotten a little better recently, but I wouldn't buy going into the deadline. I would just, let it ride, see what happens. In saying that, if there's an opportunity to bring in, someone with term, sure, but I don't really want to move out pieces for a rental. I think we are 2 or 4 points out of a playoff spot as of today, but there's math there with games in hand and those sorts of things. But I would just let it ride right now. What about you?
I still think that there's an opportunity to like get rid of a pending UFA, and most notably Nick Schmaltz, because Nick Schmaltz is going to get the bag on July 1. He is like that's it's no question, because all the big UFAs have been taken off the board, and traditionally on July 1 there's going to be someone that overpays for somebody. And Nick Schmaltz, like, I know we talk about him a lot, but he's a damn good player. He really is. Like, if you look at him, his ability for zone entries and and to pass the puck around is pretty phenomenal, if you ask me. Like, if you watch the way that he's very silky. So there's going to be a lot of teams that will yearn for that, but at the same time, like us as Coyotes and Mammoth fans, we know in the depths of our heart that he's probably not a playoff player. So it's probably someone that we're not going to re-sign, and so I think, in my heart of hearts, I think that if we have to trade somebody, or if we are going to make a trade, it's going to be Nick Schmaltz. And I would hope it's more than a second round pick. But at this point in time, in the state that the league is in, which, like, it's crazy. If you look at the Eastern Conference, it's like a deadlock. If you look at the Western Conference, it's a freaking shit show. Pardon my language. But there's going to be teams out there that are going to look for a little bit of an offensive boost. And I think that Nick Schmaltz could be a player that teams would try to, quote unquote, buy low on, just because he does not have a contract next year. So I could see that, but like, I feel like we do kind of need to temper our expectations. Like, we're not going to get a first round pick in a prospect for him. But if we're in the state that we are right around the trade deadline, and essentially, like, Corey, correct me if I'm wrong, but we had the trade freeze around the holidays. And I think we have an Olympic freeze too, right? Like, so we almost have like three.
I think there is one. Yeah. Same as last year. There was a freeze before the Four Nations. Before Canada won it.
And I think it's like a 2-week freeze.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
And then, I mean, as far as Nick Schmaltz, I wonder if you can, have your cake and eat it too. If you can trade him and then still kind of stick in the race. I think he is such a specialized player where I think if you can get a second rounder for him, that's probably a good return. Like, I don't think you're getting a first, but I would almost try and trade him for, like, can you get you're not going to get a high-end prospect. Can you get somebody who's a little bit younger who you can put in the lineup right now to fill that spot for the rest of the season? At least that gives you something, right, to keep the team in the race. I think that's a little bit demoralizing for the team if you're, 4 points out at the deadline and you trade a guy who's on pace for a career high right now with 71 points.
Right. And he's on pace to shatter his career highs, but like, and we mentioned this before, and I'm trying to be careful when I say this, but like, think about the diet version of the Mikko Rantanen for God, what's the kid's name? Stankoven. Yeah. Think about that version, like, where you're trading a guy that can put you 50 to 70 points, right? In the Rantanen version, I mean, that's quite a bit more. But at the same time, if you can provide a guaranteed playoff lock that, and when I say guaranteed playoff lock, I'm talking about someone that they know they have the ability to get out of the first round, no matter how the playoff system is set up right now. They have the ability to get out of the first round. Like, I think that's the trade that I would target, is someone that you can trade the immediate results for someone that has a higher ceiling, or maybe like just as high as Nick Schmaltz. Because let's not get it twisted. Nick Schmaltz was a first round draft pick. I think he was picked like 14th to 16th overall,
something like that.
Yeah. So like, he has the pedigree, and he's lived up to it, I think. And it's not the player that Utah needs right now.
Like, I don't think I have really any interest in re-signing him, just because, if it's short term, it's going to be like, if it's 3 years, it's going to be like $10 million for him to take something that short. And if it's long term, it's going to be like, I don't want him for another 7 years. He's already 29. And
I think he's 29. Yeah.
Yeah. So 7 years times, I don't know, probably at least $8 million, $9 million. So, and we don't really have room for him long term with Tej and Cole and all these other players coming up.
Right. And that player doesn't age well. I mean, you think about like a Brad Marchand or Marchand, sorry, I don't know how to say it, Corey. But you think about a Brad Marchand who can live up to his contract, like, until he's 38, 39 years old, because he's a water bug. He's going to go out there and he's going to be a disruptor. I think everybody that has seen and watched this team um, over the last 2 seasons with Utah, or previous with the Coyotes, like he's not a gritty player. He's a perimeter player, and he's guaranteed to get you 50 plus points a season. That's like no question. And that is there's a huge market for that, especially as a right hand shot. And he has the versatility, even though he's not the best center. He has the versatility of playing center or wing, left or right side. So he's gonna be highly coveted. So I could see us maybe exploring that, because you don't want to lose him for nothing. Go
Is
ahead.
it Carolina? Like they've been rumored for him
Dude,
forever.
the only team I think of that in Buffalo, because Buffalo's on a heater right now,
He's
and
got
I
that
could.
no trade clause though.
I know,
But I mean,
like,
if it's only for like a month and it's in the spring,
yeah,
Buffalo's bearable.
right there with you. And plus he has some familiarity on that team. I don't know. I don't know how close he was with Doan. I
I'm
don't know
just
how close he
looking
was with
if
Cass.
does Carolina have a decent goaltending prospect we can take?
I guess
They got two Russian guys. One's 21, one's 25.
we'll take them.
Yeah, either or, right?
If they're Russian, we'll take them.
Right.
No, yeah, I think that's my other point that I was going to try to transition to, is that if you can trade Nick Schmaltz for a 1A, or I'm sorry, like a 1B goaltender, that can solidify that. Like I don't want to talk bad about Vitek Vanacek, but I mean, look at our goaltending numbers. I think we're both of them are under sub 900, right?
Yep.
For save percentage. That's not going to win you a playoff round. It's not. Like, even if we get a ticket to the dance, like,
I don't think Vitek's won a game since October.
yeah, exactly. And then Carell, like, I'm not trying to piss off any of the veggie heads out there, but like, truly, I'm not. I've met a lot of you, but he's just not playing up to his contract, and his contract is not egregious in any sense of it. Well, I mean, his contract is very fair, I would say.
Yes,
Right.
yes, very fair.
Yeah.
It's not overpay, it's not underpay, but I don't think he's really living up to it. I don't think he's far off, but I think he is kind of underperforming.
Right. I would say that he's slightly overpaid, but that's if you can have two goaltenders under 7 million or under 8 million, that's a good problem to have in today's NHL. But I don't know. If this team truly wants to perform, I think we have to address the goaltending situation. And I know we went on a tangent here, but I think that that's something that we do definitely have to address, especially if we don't make the playoffs this season. That we have to shore up the goaltending situation. So that being said, with the current state of the Utah Mammoth, I'm kind of with you. I wouldn't can Turney right now. I think at this point it's too late. If you're going to do it, you have to do it early on. I think right now we're a couple months away from the playoffs, or a few months away from the playoffs. And I think at this point it's too late. Like, you just got to ride it out and hope for the best. Right. And we're fighting with LA, we're fighting with Edmonton. We're fighting with a lot of teams in the Western Conference. And most of them have games in hand, but like, we're right there. So at this point, I think that you have to trust the team that you built. And then, like, if we just talked about Buffalo went on a 10-game winning streak. I don't know if they're at 11 now. I don't remember. But
no, they lost number 11. They would have been a franchise record too.
Yeah.
So that really sucked. But
yeah. So like, they're an easy team to root for. I don't know about you, Corey, but like,
I would love to see them make the playoffs. I also want to see Florida make the playoffs, and they're both kind of, maybe they'll get one wild card each.
You'd like to see Florida, huh? That's interesting. Yeah. You want to go for a three-peat? Is that what you're asking?
I just love how they play. I wish more teams played like Florida.
And especially with like the big dogs out, like Barkov and Kachuk, the fact that they're still kind of a sleeper is kind of scary.
Yep.
But if you think about that, like if we're talking how close we are, if we went on a 10-game heater, like it'd be a different
Mhm.
story. So I don't think we need to sell. I don't think we need to fire. But I'm with you. I think at this point in the season, it makes a lot of sense. Just write it out and trust the process. I don't think we need to add. I don't think we need to subtract. I think as much as I love to see trades and the like, we should talk about the Valimaki trade. Um,
Mhm.
but as much as that intrigued me, I think that was just giving Valimaki a second chance. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I guess better to play in Carolina. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't imagine he's gonna be on the Hurricanes right away, but
No, yeah,
it's a new opportunity for him. I liked him when we first claimed him from Calgary in Arizona,
me
but then
too.
remember I think he got his like face smashed in that one game in Dallas, and then he went to the
Yeah,
hospital, and then very Coyotes he got like there was some issue with the doctors or something like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and then yeah, he hasn't been the same player since. And for Carolina just to take that $2 million right off our hands for a player who's, I mean, he's back, but he has not played a whole lot, and he's relatively expensive for a depth defenseman. So I was surprised they just took that money altogether. So
Right. And I think the fact that they traded for him when they could have claimed him is very
hmm
indicative of what they're trying to do. Like so for I guess unseasoned hockey fans, when you see a player on waivers and nobody claims them, um, and then 2 days later a team trades for him, they're like, what the hell? Like, why did we
hmm
give anything up? And in this case, we gave up future considerations, which is basically a bag of peanuts. But or a bus in certain circumstances. There's actually NHL history on that, by the way. Um, uh, when you see a team do that, it's not because they're dumb. It just means that when you trade for a player that was just recently on waivers, that means that you have the right to send them down without having to put them on waivers and put them up for auction, apparently,
hmm
or for lack of a better term. If you claim them and it's not working out and you put them back on waivers, then you essentially made this like lateral move that could potentially cost you money. Like when you claim a player off waivers, it costs you money.
hmm
And if you trade for a player that was just on waivers, like now they're your asset and you are free to send them down and call them up as you wish for the rest of the year. If I'm not mistaken, is that correct?
Yeah, same thing Edmonton did with Connor Ingram, right?
Oh yes, that's correct. Yeah. So yeah, that's that perfect example there. So it's the Valinaki trade, as much as it piqued a lot of our Discord members' interest on like what we were doing, or like are we freeing up cap space? Uh, we already have a lot of cap space. We didn't need
hmm
to clear up his 2.75 or whatever it is. I don't remember what it was.
2 million, but nice to get rid of the contract though. That takes us down to 45. That gives you five
Five
opportunities to,
contracts.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can, maybe we can look at somebody on waivers now, right? Maybe I don't imagine a goalie is going to hit waivers, but if one does, right now we're pretty
Yeah.
low on the waiver priority as well. So
We can also sign a prospect that
mhm.
we have plenty unsigned prospects that are very intriguing. So that there is flexibility there. I wouldn't think like if you're a Mammoth fan, I wouldn't try to read too much into this and think that like, oh, now we're gonna go out and big game hunt. No, the 2 million that we freed up is not to go out and pursue somebody that we don't already have. Like we already have the cap space to do that. So
Mhm.
I do feel that that's worth addressing, but I think we should kind of get into some of the other topics that we need to address. I'm sorry, I have to get a little clarity on this comment. Number 40. Oh, Pat Tillman. Are you talking about this?
Oh,
Pat Tillman, American hero. I
I was
I
trying to think what Mammoth player wears 40.
Yeah. Is it Vanacek?
I thought it was, but is he 41? No, is he 41?
I don't know. Got the Mike
Um,
Smith curse.
right.
Right. Let's see.
41 might
Oh
be. I think
no,
he's
yeah, no, we got it. Pat Tillman. Yeah, let's go. I love it. For those of you who do not know about Pat Tillman, he's an American hero. He left the Cardinals and decided to go fight in the war in Iraq. And I'm not going to get into politics or anything, but he ended up losing his life. Unfortunately, he was due a big contract in the NFL and decided to leave that pursuit and join the U.S. military, and unfortunately was killed by friendly fire. So I'm not going to get into politics, but I appreciate the fact that you saw this jersey. I am more wearing this because the Cardinals are a garbage fire. Like I don't want to say like most teams I follow, but like I did follow the Coyotes for a long time. It's a breath of fresh air to follow the Utah Mammoth and the ownership group that we have. And let's transition right into that. Like there is a huge announcement that we had today. And it's something that I'm going to pay homage to Coyotes fans. We were promised an all-star game and an outdoor game for many, many years. And finally it's coming to fruition via Ryan Smith and the SEG Entertainment Group. And it sounds like Gary Bettman was there today. Do you know anything about this?
Going to be, I assume, I didn't see the exact date, but I assume January 1st of 2027 or roughly around there. I know the NHL is trying to get away from that date a little bit because it's been taken over by, is it college football, January 1st?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, taking it outside, going to go up against Colorado. That just seems like a natural fit. They're right next door. Utah was Colorado's territory before we arrived. There's a discrepancy between the two teams, but it's one game, right? And we've beaten Colorado this year. I think it was in a shootout or overtime. And then the game right before Christmas was very close as well. I mean, we didn't score, but Wedgwood was on fire. We only allowed one goal. So we're right there with them. And we've had some pretty competitive games against Colorado, even going back to that playoff series. I know the last two were a mess, but we put up some good performances in that series, and we've always kind of been a bit of a thorn in the side of the Avalanche.
Yeah, there's a few things to say about that. If I'm not mistaken, Colorado has only lost 3 games in regulation.
Think about that. They lose number 4 yesterday? But yes, it's a very low number.
Very, very low number in regulation. That means that how many games have we played for you? We're probably
how many we played? We played 43, and we've lost 20 in regulation.
So Colorado has played 42 games, and they've lost 4 in regulation. Mm-hmm. 42 games. So that means, God, I'm trying to do math right now.
They're on pace for like 137 points or something. And the team who gets the bottom seed for the playoffs in the West is going to have like 82. So there's going to be like a 50-point discrepancy between those two teams.
Right. So that means that out of 38 games, is 38 games, they've secured a point in the standings. That's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts. 38 out of 42, they've secured a point. They are on pace to do something that, I mean, the Boston Bruins, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
They lost in round 1 to Florida.
Yeah.
And I could see the same happening with Colorado, especially if it flip-flops where Colorado plays Dallas in round 1. There's only an 11-point gap between those two teams. And then who knows, a 7-game series. And I know Ottinger's kind of been hot and cold in the playoffs, but I would still take him over both Colorado goalies.
Oh, for sure. I mean, right? Colorado retooled their goaltending position. And I give them credit. Like I don't remember any team that has traded both their goalies.
And they did it in like a weekend.
Yeah, they did it in a weekend, and they kind of traded both their goalies for people that are not like star names, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got the Woods, they got the Wedgwood and Blackwood. And Blackwood, I'm gonna give him credit. I think in New Jersey he was dubbed their franchise goalie, and then had a couple bad years in a row. And Colorado has an excellent pro scouting staff, and they saw something that apparently the other 31 teams did not see, or 30 teams did not see, and snatched them up. And it's looking like a good gamble at this point. Wedgwood looks like a completely different player. Like we always loved Wedgwood in Arizona. Like he undersized goalie, nothing fancy, or he's just consistent, and that's exactly what a team like Colorado needs. So they are a scary team. I could definitely see them get knocked out by Dallas, though. That'd be crazy to see Rantanen's revenge, because
Right.
he did kind of tear it up against them
Mm-hmm.
in the playoffs last year. So I could see that being a story there. But I regardless, it's really cool that we're finally getting an outdoor game, and that's going to be really fun. It's going to be in Utah, right? I'm
Yep.
assuming that's the
Yep.
reason why. Okay. Do we know where? Do we have a location?
I have no idea how to say the name, but it's Rice Eccles. I don't know how it's
Okay.
pronounced, but it's I think it's where the University of Utah plays.
Paging SLC Puck, Austin Facer. Like we need it. Like that guy travels everywhere. He's the gnome from that commercial, that he's been everywhere in
But
Utah.
51,000 seats,
Yeah.
and very curious to see what the split is going to be between. It's very easy for fans to travel from Denver. I think there's still a bunch of Colorado fans living in Utah, but
Yeah.
very interesting to see what the split will be.
But what we do know is that Utah shows up, and I'm not even
Mhm.
trying to be corny right now, but Utah does show up. Like we've seen that multiple times this year. Even for the last place Jazz, I think they were still doing sellouts there.
Mhm.
So good for you, Utah. That's why we love you guys. That's I've met a lot of you. I know Corey has too. Trent, Brad, we've all met you guys, and we know that you guys are going to show up and fill that arena and be the nicest people ever with the because it can be a little tough when you're in an outdoor game, and the audience has tripled in size, but we love Utah, and we can't wait to see that coming. So that's going to be really cool. I know that it was kind of like pushed under the rug a little bit. Like you see these announcements for Canadian outdoor games, and it's like a week in advance that you hear about it, and it's talked about it for a week after. I think we just had like a little flash in the pan, but don't get it twisted. It's going to be an amazing experience, and I can't wait to see that on live screen. I'm going to try to go. I don't know, man. Corey, we should probably try to plan that. Like I've never
I'd
been to
love
an
to.
outdoor game.
I went to the first one in Buffalo, and it was that was the one
You
with
went to
Crosby
that
getting.
one
Yeah, it was
where Ryan Miller was wearing the toque?
Ryan Miller's wearing the two. Crosby
Yeah,
gets the, I think it was a shootout winner.
it was a shoot.
It was cold as hell, but it looked like a snow globe. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And I think that stadium's like, is it like 80,000, something like that?
Oh my God, it's
It's
crazy.
huge. And so
Yeah.
this game has really reinvigorated my interest in these games, because I think,
Yeah.
I mean, the NHL's had a lot of success with these games, but they went like too hard, too fast. Like the one year there was like 6 games. And I do get it when you have the game like in New York, like, okay, let's get the Rangers and the Islanders and the Devils all playing. But then like
Yeah.
it went from Winter Classic to Stadium Series and Heritage Classic, and to the
And
point
now
where
it's
every
like,
team's now played one, right?
I
I
mean,
did watch a little bit of the last one because it was in Miami, so there's kind of some cool
yeah.
novelty to it. But this one is really cool. With it's probably going to snow. There's the mountains there. It's a bit of
Yeah.
a throwback to what these events started as.
Yeah. And I think that we are getting a little oversaturated with all these. Like I understand the strike while the iron's hot with Florida, but man, like those guys were swimming in the water in the
And there's
third
another
period.
one in Tampa in a couple of weeks. So
Yeah. So I mean, like let's be real about this. I think that I all credit to I forget the guy's name, but he's the PR guy for the NHL, and he sets up all the draft and the All-Star games. He's been trying everything, and
Mhm.
it's hard to compete with the other leagues based off what they're doing. But he's been trying everything. So I'm not saying anything bad towards him. I just think that we really have to go back to the drawing board and bring some excitement back to this, because I think that we're
Yeah,
getting oversaturated.
I mean, they are very much for the in-person fan, but like on TV, like, oh, great, we're back to Wrigley Field or Fenway
Yeah,
Park. Or
yeah,
Chicago's played in like 8 of these games or something.
yeah.
So, and like,
Pittsburgh too.
right,
Um,
and the Chicago one last year sucked. Was it New
yeah,
Year's Eve, and it was like in the middle of the afternoon, and it was just bad.
it
The
was just
Blackhawks were
bad.
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's 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 definitely a work in progress. I can see that they're trying to make the necessary moves. But speaking of the Blackhawks here, what do you think as a Canadian? What do you think about the snub of Connor Bedard for the Olympics?
I would have put him on the team, but if he's hurt, it's tricky, right?
Right.
I would have had him on
You,
the team. I think he's been one of the most impressive players in the league this year.
for
I
sure.
didn't really. I was kind of. I wasn't losing faith in him being the next McDavid or something like that, but his career hasn't really shot out of a cannon as you thought it would.
This year, he's been a completely different player.
Yes. Yes.
Let me ask you this: if you, not only as a Canadian, but if you as a hockey fan, if both players were healthy and it came down to Celebrini and Bedard, who would you put on the team?
Celebrini.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's been very impressive this year too. I think I might take off like Anthony Cirelli, something like that.
But that's the coaches,
Yeah.
They're,
And they did leave off some of his. They left off Brandon Hagel.
Yeah.
And there's still, possibility of injury replacement and that sort of thing too. So
for sure.
We'll see.
For NHL history buffs, there's stories about Steve Yzerman leaving off Martin St. Louis from the Olympic roster. I think he was actually called as like an emergency player.
Mm-hmm.
But it soured the relationship, and like a couple weeks later, he was traded to New York.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely some repercussions. I'm sorry, repercussions for if you're a GM or if you're involved in management in any way, and you do not choose one of your own players in your franchise. So you think about it, like the Olympics is you play for the flag, not for the franchise. But unfortunately, not all players see that way. And especially in today's age with social media, it's hard to read all this stuff about you in comparison, and you're getting compared to everybody. So like we saw that with Adam Fox in New York. He seems a little frustrated that he wasn't on the team in the US. But getting back to the original point here, I think it's interesting to compare the career trajectories between Celebrini and Bedard. And if it were up to me, I think that even if both players were healthy, just based off of their like as Elliot Friedman says, the greatest predictor of future behavior is past behavior. I think that I'd take Celebrini over Bedard too. So I don't know if the Bedard snub was as big of a story as it has been lately, especially with his injury. I think they had an easy out with that. But it's a testament to how deep the Canadian roster is. I mean, Sam frickin' Bennett is not on that team.
I've seen a couple posts of like a second Canadian team, and I'd be curious, like if you could do that.
Oh my God.
Could enter a second one, like where would they finish? And USA can probably do the second one as well. And that's probably the only two countries that can like do competitive teams. But
right, I think the Canada B versus USA B, it would be a gong show.
We just get very thin on goaltending.
Yeah, that's true. But like you think about all the players up front, like it would be a riot. I would love that actually, but the owners would not. The owners would be like, nah, let these guys go to Cabo 2 weeks and rest up and not get injured. No wakeboarding. But it brings us to the point that we have what, 4 players in the Olympics this year?
We got Keller, we got
Turka,
and
Veggie. Yeah. So I'd like to get your input on this. A lot of people are pissed about the snub of Jason Robertson for USA, and I get that. I think he's got the most points out of all the bubble players for Team USA. But there's something, every time that I hear any analyst or any fan base talk about this, they're not calling for Robertson over Keller.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be a testament to the player that Keller is. Keller, ever since he got the captaincy, has turned to a different player. He's not the biggest guy, he's not the loudest guy, but he plays like a water bug with elite talent, right? Like he's all over the ice. He can be a net front player. He can be a perimeter player. He can be he's not going to be what's the two-way player, a Selkie candidate ever, but he plays well on defense and he can get chippy. Like we all see that shirt that we made, Mr. Versatility, where he had a bloodied eyebrow right after he got snubbed from the Four Nations, and I think that was before he scored 2 goals and an assist, I think, if I remember correctly. So there's a difference between Robertson and Clayton Keller, and I think the powers that be, they identified that, and it's just such a reward. And it's not, we shouldn't forget the fact that Keller just lost his father, and this was not a sympathy pick. This was a Keller, ever since his father passed, has been a man on fire.
And one of our best players in December.
Exactly. And it's a testament to how certain players deal with adversity. And I'm talking about like outside of hockey adversity. I'm talking about this guy just lost his dad, an untimely death. And he has gone on to be one of our best players. That kind of mental strength, including the fact, I mean, like Corey, you remember how ugly that injury he had was when he went into he crashed the net and went into the boards, and he looked like a friggin' dismembered G.I. Joe doll at the bottom of a toy box. We were all scared that he would be afraid to rush the puck into the offensive zone. And the 2 years after that, he put up career high numbers. That's just the kind of player that he is. And so it's a testament to Keller. I thought it was a no-brainer. I don't think anybody in the hockey world, the big brains in hockey, are questioning it. What do you think?
I was a little surprised he made the team because I do think he's been a little bit slower production-wise than last season. But you go back to, I mean, 2 games really stand out. I think it was the very next game last year after he didn't make the Olympic team. We went up against Minnesota and Bill Guerin, and he had like 5 points in that game.
Yeah.
He just kind of
sending a
shoved
message.
it right to yes.
Yeah.
And then captaining USA at the World Championship as well, right? Gets the gold medal there for the first time in a very long time. So he's a winner, and he's won he's one of the World Juniors, and he's won all over the place. And I still think, this year is not going to match last year's production, but I do think there is a 100-point season coming here. And maybe as soon as, I think it's kind of dependent on, once Cooley gets some more time, Dylan Guenther is quickly becoming he's going to hit 30 goals this year, maybe 40. If he can play with those two full time in a year or two, it's going to be 100 points.
Yeah. I think Gunther's going to hit 40. Like
he's like top 16 in goals or something.
Yeah.
And he's 23.
Yeah. If you're a betting man, and I just recently became one, thanks, Brad. But you can almost bet every game that Gunther's going to score. It's crazy. Like if you look at his stats over the last 10 games, I'm just going based off memory here, but he's almost automatic. And so to Corey's point, you put him with Keller, who's one of the most all-around prospects. I don't want to call him a prospect anymore, but one of the, I think, best draft picks that this organization has made. And considering who else was on the table there. I mean, we had Shane Wright, who was like a bona fide #1 pick for almost 2 years. And I'm not trying to throw shade at Shane Wright, but he's not exactly a premier NHL player. Like Logan Cooley, this would be another guy that, if he was healthy, could have probably made a strong push for Team USA. Do you agree? Yeah.
I think it was Elliot Friedman the other day who said, had he been healthy, he likely would have made the team.
You think? Oh, wow. I didn't hear that. Like, I mean, with the center depth that Team USA has, and I'm not even trying to compare that to Team Canada. But he could have played on the wing, and and still been a very, very productive player. I think he's got 23 points in 29 games. If and that's going off the top of my head. I think he's on pace. If he were healthy, I think he was on pace to be our highest point getter this year.
And still on an entry-level contract. I mean, I know he got the extension, but that doesn't start till next year.
Right. And the fact that he got an extension and for the number that he has, it's ridiculous. It's like an embarrassment of riches. And I'm trying to knock on wood when I say that, because like having Gunther and Cooley locked up for what we do have, and them being consistent top 2 point getters for this team is crazy. Now you have to worry about their health a little bit. Like we saw Gunther go down and get into concussion protocol the last game. He seems to be all right, but teams are going to start targeting Utah. And the reason why is because we're a gritty team. Like I told this to my wife. We were watching the game in overtime. I was like, Utah is going to win this game. We are dominant in overtime. Our puck possession, and credit to Nick Schmaltz here. Credit is due there, because he is a puck hound. Not necessarily like I'm going to go destroy somebody in the corner to grab the puck. He is a puck hog. Like he has the best zone entries that I've seen out of any Coyotes player, or I'm sorry, any Coyotes or Mammoth player in the last 10, 15 years. It's crazy. He is so good at that. And if we do trade him, we got to give him credit. This guy is a good hockey player, and he will be missed, and he will be an asset to wherever he goes. It just may not be the fit here. But again, if you're a betting man, if Utah goes to overtime, bet Utah every time. It's crazy. We got Stenlund that takes the opening draw, and then the other team does not friggin' touch the puck. It's crazy. The thing I think that is the most frustrating is that level of dominance that we have in a very specialized portion of the game is not equally distributed over.
We're good in overtime. We just got to get there.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. We're good in the regular season. We just got to get there. That's one of those things that that cannot be a consistent thing. So, getting back to the Olympics, JJ Peterka, that's a shoe in. The guy's money. Ole Mata, I'm not trying to say anything bad about the country, but they don't have a lot to pick from. And Ole Mata's steady. He's a shutdown defenseman. And then Vejmelka, give credit where credit's due. This guy was plucked out of Europe by the Coyotes scouting staff. And nobody knew who he was. Nobody even knew how to say his name. And now
still don't.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that we call him Veggie is hilarious, because it's not any even close. How do you say his name? But it's awesome. I don't know the last time that 4 players on a team. It's got to be back in the Verbata days, right? Verbata for Czech and Martin Hansel for Czech. Mike Smith for Canada. And then who for
OEL Sweden?
Yeah, OEL Sweden. Yeah. That's got to be the last. And I don't even know if they all. I'm assuming they did, but I don't know if they all even made the Olympics.
Keith Yandel got snubbed.
Yeah, Keith Yandel has all but he's just
Shane Doan went in the where the hell was the Olympics in Italy, and Canada finished 7th or something.
Was Shane Doan not on Team Canada? No, he was not.
That was the only year he made it. What's that?
He was not for Vancouver. Goal. Yeah,
no.
It wasn't Italy, right? It's not the same spot. Okay, yeah.
No, it was Torino, something like that.
Yes, I do remember it. Yeah. So going back, we have to give credit to Armstrong and the staff that he's assembled. I know that we lost one of the Auskies, I think, to Seattle, right? But still, to this day, we are an excellent pro scouting team. We are an excellent amateur scouting team. And that's all you can hope for. Even in the dog days of a year like this, where you're just so frustrated because the team that we've assembled looks like they could do some damage, and we're just kind of treading water. Just know that the future is bright. And I know as the clean hits experts, we're going to call ourselves because people pay us to do that. I'm just kidding. We may be a little bit more negative on the team, but we're also a little bit more jaded because
we've watched a lot of bad hockey.
Yes, exactly. And so if we're ever tough on the team that you love, it's not because we're trying to like be the rain on your parade. It's just because we're realists and we've seen this before. And truthfully, I unfortunately at this point, January 7th, are we 7th now? I just don't see us being a playoff team this year.
You know what? If we finish out of the playoffs, and we have another high pick. I have no interest in another high pick. I would trade that for immediate help. Like, no, we've had too many prospects for too long, and like an 18-year-old is nothing for us right now. So
for sure,
we're already going to be bringing in some more rookies next year with Tej and Simonshev will come back up, and maybe some others.
Yep.
So it's going to be, the team could be even not worse next year, but more inexperienced. So if we do finish out of the playoffs, I would move that pick for some immediate help. We got to get a second line center. It might be Caleb, but some kind of center help in the meantime. Like you said, like we have the top line figured out with Keller and Gunther and Cooley. Then the next line can be got to get that center, but we have JJP there. We have Boot, Lawson Krause on the third line. I don't want to re-sign Barrett Hayton. Maybe you can attach him with that draft pick. I've seen enough of Barrett Hayton.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too. It seems like a nice enough guy, but like, come on. Yeah, this is embarrassing.
It's coming with this team, but there's a gap here with these growing pains between these prospects and when they're ready to roll here. So
I'm with you. And I'm trying to think of the last time. I mean, the big ones to stick out were Toronto trading Phil Kessel. I'm sorry, Boston trading Phil Kessel to Toronto for the second overall pick. But that was early on in the year. I don't remember the last time that like a top 5 pick has been traded for immediate talent. I remember Corey Schneider was traded for the Bo Horvat pick. Yeah, that's like the closest one.
We traded 7 for Stepan and Ranta.
Oh my God.
That was in what, 2017, 2018, which that pick could have been Marty Natchez, by the way.
It could have been Marty Natchez, but at the same time, who was picked there? It was like Anderson, like I forget.
It was the Swedish kid who threw his medal in the stands.
Didn't work out. But yeah, that's a good comparison. So like, I think that if you're going to do that, and I think that I'm on board with you there. I think that at this point, we have so many prospects that we don't really know what to do with them. Like we have to trade some prospects for sure, or we're going to just let them re-enter the draft. Like a la JJ Moser, or I don't even know if JJ Moser was drafted, but like Connor Brickley, you remember that? How he got picked by the Avalanche. He ran to the draft, and then we picked him, and then he got repicked by the Avalanche or something like that. It was crazy. And I don't know if that's a fact or not, but I just remember it was something weird like that. Like we have a lot of players that are unsigned right now that we either have to trade or just let go, and that means that they're either going to be UFAs or they're going to re-enter the draft, and we lose them for nothing, and we waste the draft pick on them. So at this point, with the limited contract spots that we have available, I'm with you. I think that immediate help up front, I hate to say this, but like a premier goaltender, we talked about it last year a little bit, but the idea of trading 4th overall for Sorokin doesn't look as ugly as it did at that point. Like
Noah Dobson.
Yeah, exactly. Like
because we still need a top right shot D, and he's 25.
Exactly. And there was rumors around us and the Islanders talking, and I think Sorokin and Dobson were the the players that were obviously rumored. I think there was a little bit of whispers about Bo Horvat, but I just didn't think that it made a lot of sense at that time.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
you just
too old.
yeah. And Sorokin's old. Don't get me wrong, but goalies are voodoo. Goalies can enter their prime at 30 years old. But it's a little hypocritical to say because I'm talking about it like a 28-year-old, 29-year-old Vemelka, and I'm like, well, it's time to go. But I think that if this team wants to make the playoffs, you need one more significant piece up front, whether that's Daniil Boot, Caleb Denoye, TJ Ginla, and TJ looks phenomenal, by the way. Whether it's internal or whether it's, you know, trading somebody that it's going to hurt a little bit and we gain immediate talent from, and that's Bill Armstrong's motto. Like that's what he's done, and that's the path that he's followed. He's always talked about Tampa and the way that they built a championship team, and St. Louis, how they made some pretty hard trades. I mean, like, let's not forget, like, Tage Thompson was traded from St. Louis and they got Ryan O'Reilly and they won a Stanley Cup. But like, who would you take now? Right. So there, but like championship teams are 50% draft, 50% trades. And you can see that with Florida as well, and Vegas as well, and Colorado as well. Like they're just, and I think that's the path we're going down. I don't know if we're going to see it this year. I thought it was going to be a pretty explosive year. We had a pretty explosive offseason, like grabbing Peterka and trading 2 fan favorites away. But I think this year, I'm with you, Corey. I think we're going to kind of stand pat and just kind of see how it rides out. And we're probably going to see a coaching change if things don't go differently here.
I mean, yeah, just let it ride. See if you can sneak in the playoffs. I don't really want to burn any assets to do it unless the player coming in is staying beyond April. But yeah, get in, play Colorado, build that rivalry ahead of the outdoor game next year, and go from there.
Yeah. Well, guys, we had a lot to talk about tonight, and we've been talking for almost an hour. The game just started. We're playing the Ottawa Senators right now. We appreciate everybody that jumped in and hung out with us. I know that it's kind of an awkward time to do a podcast, but we miss you guys. I don't know. I don't see a lot of comments on anything right now, but that's because you guys are probably enjoying your families. We wanted to do a little Q&A at the end, but you guys are probably all getting ready for the game tonight and enjoying your families. But I'm gonna space our Discord link off the top of my head right now.
Discord.cleanhitshockey.com.
Yep. Join in there. We have a significant amount of people in there. I tell you what, I've never had more notifications on my phone since I downloaded Discord. And I'm not saying that out of annoyance, like that. It's so fun to see how engaged people are. And we do have a question from our boy Dexter I want to address real quick. What's your expected? Let me try to get it on here now. Just got a new mouse for Christmas and it's so fidgety. What's your expected record for us over the 7 games in a row?
Ottawa tonight.
7 home games.
Yeah.
I gotta see who we're playing. So let me pull this
Ottawa tonight. So Ottawa, St. Louis, Columbus, Toronto, Dallas, Seattle, Philly. Just beat Toronto. We have not beat Toronto as Utah yet.
Yeah. I could see us winning the Blues game. I could see us winning the Kraken game. I can see us. I don't know. The Predators are on fire right now.
Predators in Nashville.
What's that?
So Predators is in Nashville, so it's not part of the.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading it in the wrong direction. So we've got the Blues. I think we can beat the Blue Jackets. I think we can beat Maple Leafs. I'm jaded, so I think the Maple Leafs will take us in that one. The Stars. I think the Stars would probably manhandle us unless they have an off game. The Kraken, I think we can beat. The Flyers, I think we can beat. That's the Rick Tocchet revenge tour that goes sour because he always plays with too much emotion or coaches with too much emotion. Sorry, Flyers fans. I don't know why I'm saying sorry to you guys. You guys are.
So you have us like 5-2?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But with so 1, 2, 3. No, 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 no. I have four. Wait, we have the Blues, the Blue Jackets, the Kraken, and the Flyers. So 4-2.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I think
I
we'll beat St. Louis. Uh, I don't think Columbus or
You don't think
Dallas.
so?
No, they're kind of an annoying team.
What about the
Seattle, we've had
Leafs?
some trouble with. Yeah, Toronto. I don't think Toronto either. I would love to be wrong, but I don't think so. And then I'll say we'll beat.
Corey of all people would love to be wrong about that.
Yes, especially because I've witnessed two of those three losses.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think we'll beat Ottawa, and then Philly, St. Louis, and then so that's what, three?
Oh yeah, I
Lose-
definitely forgot about Ottawa. I'm sorry. I think we'll be so 5-2. Yeah.
I'll say 3-4, but that's kind of right where we are, right? Just under 500. But
So I think Corey probably has the most realistic. I have probably like the most optimistic. But I feel like if we take my path, then we could potentially see a trade at the deadline or before the Olympic roster freeze. I think if we take Corey's path, then we're probably going to stand pat, right? I mean, if we go 5-2 over the next game, that's 10 points, right? And we obviously, like, the Kings and the Oilers have some games in hand. But if we secure 10 points over the next, what is that? 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. That's pretty significant jump in the standings. But I'm, unfortunately, now that I think about it, Corey, like I have to temper my expectations. But I see I see the teams that we should beat on paper. But unfortunately, a lot of these are scheduled losses. Like
and
they are like they're bound to
Vanacek's going to
happen.
have to play probably two of them. So I
Yeah,
don't have much confidence in him right now. Now, he has had a couple of good games where he just has not got any scoring support, but
yeah.
I thought he would be a lot better, and he has not been. But
Yeah, I agree with you. And we have no idea what the future lies or what the future holds for our
none of these are back to back, though. So Pamelka could, in theory, play every single one.
and you remember last year Vimelka
Yeah.
played out the
Like
I don't think
25 in a row or something,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
we shall see, guys. I'm trying to make sure that we didn't miss any topics, miss any questions from everybody, and it does not look like we have. Corey, do you have anything else that you wanted to throw at the viewers before we watch this Senators game tonight?
No, let's just go. Looking forward to the Winter Classic already. You kind of saw it coming, but it is very cool to see that it's now official.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just the fact that Utah's being shown some love. I know there's a lot of bitter Coyotes fans. We see it all over Twitter, guys. Like, I understand. Like, when I first heard about the Coyotes moving to Utah, I did not have the best outlook or the best view of Utah until I fully embraced this team and realized, like, the people are just as good as I mean, they're some of the best people I've ever met. And I remember going to a Coyotes game when I was 8 years old, and I remember falling in love with that team. And I know that some of these guys are experiencing the same. So I know there's a lot of bitter Coyotes fans out there. I would say if you're seeing this on the off chance, give this team a chance and enjoy the product that we helped breed, and be happy for other people because it's that time of year, man. Like, new year, new you. Go out there and spread joy and embrace other people because this is a really, really fun team with a lot of promise. And even though I'm not the most optimistic about this year, I do feel that this team has some brighter days on the horizon. So with that, the clean hits boys, minus Brad and Trent, who are off doing their family duties because they've been holding down the fort for us for a while. So we appreciate them. But from the Clean Hits crew, we hope that you all had a very Merry Christmas, very happy holidays, very happy New Year. And we cannot wait to chat with you guys again. And go Utah Mammoth. Let's tune into this game that just started right now and hope for the best. All right, man. Cheers.
We know we running it now. Watch the game change. Watch the game change.